Do you ever find yourself looking at your social calendar and feeling a quiet sense of relief when it's not packed? Or perhaps you've noticed that the bustling get-togethers you once loved now feel a bit much. It's a common experience, isn't it? As we journey through our later years, many of us notice a subtle, yet undeniable shift in our desire for social interaction. We might find ourselves preferring quiet evenings at home, or perhaps choosing a small, intimate chat with one or two close friends over a large, noisy gathering. It can sometimes feel a bit strange, even isolating, as if you're pulling away without fully understanding why. You might wonder if there's something wrong, or if you're simply becoming a hermit. But what if I told you that this shift, this growing preference for solitude or more selective social circles, isn't a sign of something broken, but rather a deeply human, and often very healthy psychological process? It's a secret many people your age share, a quiet understanding that develops as we gain more life experience. In this video, we're going to gently explore 6 fascinating psychological reasons why many of us naturally start to avoid people more as we age. Understanding these reasons can bring immense peace of mind and help you embrace this new phase of life with confidence and joy. So settle in, get comfortable, and watch to the end for something that will truly surprise you about your social life. Now, let's gently dive into the very first reason we often find ourselves becoming more selective about our social circles as we grow older. It's a concept psychologists call socio-emotional selectivity theory, and it's less complicated than it sounds. Think of it this way. When we're young, perhaps in our 20s or 30s, we often feel like time is endless. We're building careers, expanding our networks, and there's a strong drive to meet new people, try new things, and collect as many experiences as possible. Our social circles might be wide, encompassing colleagues, casual acquaintances, friends of friends, and people we meet through various activities. It's like we're casting a wide net, exploring all the possibilities. But as we age, a fundamental shift occurs in our perception of time. It's not about fearing the end, but rather a subtle, often unconscious, awareness that our remaining time is finite. With this understanding comes a powerful re-evaluation of what truly matters. We begin to prioritize emotional meaning and well-being. The thought of spending precious moments on superficial conversations, or with people who drain our energy, simply loses its appeal. Instead, we gravitate towards interactions that are deeply satisfying, emotionally enriching, and genuinely reciprocal. We're no longer driven by the need to expand our network for future opportunities or to simply fit in. Our focus narrows to quality over quantity. Think about it. Do you find yourself cherishing deeply meaningful conversations with longtime friends, where you can truly be yourselves, share laughter, and offer support without pretense? Compare that to how you might feel about attending a large, noisy party where you only know a few people, and most of the conversation feels like small talk. For many of us, the latter becomes less appealing. We start to prune our social garden, tending only to the most vibrant, life-giving plants. It's not about being anti-social. It's about being pro-meaningful social connection. We invest our limited social energy in those relationships that truly nourish our souls, leaving less room, and frankly, less desire, for interactions that don't serve our emotional well-being. This can mean spending more time with family, deepening bonds with a handful of trusted friends, or engaging in activities that bring personal joy rather than social obligation. It's a natural and wise distillation of our social lives, ensuring that every interaction holds value and brings us genuine happiness. This leads us very smoothly into our second psychological reason, which often goes hand in hand with the first, a reduced capacity for social energy and a growing appreciation for solitude. Have you ever come home after a busy day, even one filled with pleasant social interactions, and felt utterly drained? It's a common experience, and it often becomes more pronounced as we age. Our physical and mental energy reserves aren't quite what they used to be. A long conversation, navigating a crowded room, or even just processing a lot of new information can be more taxing. Think about the sheer energy required for social engagement. It's not just about talking. It's about listening actively, reading nonverbal cues, maintaining eye contact, processing information, and often managing our own emotions and the emotions of others. For a younger person with boundless energy, this might be exhilarating. For us, after a lifetime of constant stimulation and interaction, our social battery simply charges slower and depletes faster. We might find ourselves needing more recovery time after social events, or consciously limiting our social engagements to preserve our energy for other things we love, like hobbies, relaxation, or quiet time with loved ones. And what about the sheer joy of solitude for many of us? As we age, we develop a deeper appreciation for our own company. We've spent decades in the company of others, raising families, working, volunteering, maintaining social obligations. Now, there's a quiet satisfaction in simply being. It's a chance to reflect, to engage in personal interests without interruption, to read a book, garden, or simply enjoy a cup of tea in peace. This isn't loneliness. It's a chosen and often deeply fulfilling state of being. We learn that we don't always need external stimulation to feel complete or happy. Our inner world becomes a richer, more comforting space. So, when you find yourself declining an invitation in favor of a quiet evening at home, it's not necessarily a sign of social withdrawal, but perhaps a very wise choice to honor your energy levels and your evolving need for restful, nourishing solitude. It's about listening to what your body and mind truly need in this stage of life. It's about self-care, pure and simple, moving forward. Another powerful, and sometimes heartbreaking, reason for changes in our social interactions as we age is the profound shifts in our actual social networks. It's an undeniable truth of life that as we get older, we experience loss. Friends and loved ones, who were once pillars of our social world, may pass away. Colleagues we shared decades with retire and move away. Neighbors who were like family might relocate closer to their own children. Our children themselves grow up, build their own lives, and often move to different cities or even countries. This isn't a conscious choice to avoid people. It's the natural attrition of a lifetime. The familiar faces and voices that made up our social fabric slowly, or sometimes suddenly, become fewer. The opportunities for spontaneous chats, shared meals, or regular meetups simply diminish. It's a challenging reality, and it means that the default settings of our social lives change. We might find ourselves with fewer invitations, fewer people to call for a casual chat, or fewer reasons to leave the house for social reasons. It's not that we don't want connection. It's that the very structure that provided those connections has evolved. This can lead to a quiet sense of loneliness for some, but for many, it also leads to adapting and finding new ways to connect, even if it's on a smaller scale, or simply accepting the quieter rhythm of life that emerges. We adjust to a world where our social landscape looks different. And sometimes, this adjustment means we spend more time alone, not out of preference, but out of circumstance. It's a natural process of life's journey, one that requires resilience and a gentle acceptance of change. Now, let's consider a very practical, yet often unspoken, reason that can influence our social engagement, sensory impairments, and physical limitations. Have you ever been in a noisy restaurant and found yourself struggling to hear the conversation, feeling frustrated and exhausted by the effort? Or perhaps you've hesitated to attend an event because you know there will be a lot of walking, or steps, or uncomfortable seating. These are very real considerations that become more prominent with age. Hearing loss, even mild, can make social gatherings incredibly taxing. The constant strain of trying to decipher speech in a noisy environment, asking people to repeat themselves, or feeling left out of a conversation because you missed a key part can be utterly draining. It's simply less enjoyable, and sometimes even embarrassing, to participate in social situations where communication is a struggle. Similarly, vision changes can make navigating unfamiliar places challenging, especially in low light or crowded areas. Mobility issues, whether it's difficulty walking long distances, needing assistance with stairs, or just discomfort from standing for extended periods, can make attending certain events or even visiting friends' homes a daunting prospect. These aren't just minor inconveniences. They can be significant barriers to social engagement. It's not that we don't want to be with people. It's that the physical effort or sensory strain required makes the experience less appealing than staying in a comfortable, familiar environment where we can relax and be ourselves without constant effort. For many, choosing to limit social outings is a practical decision to manage physical comfort and reduce sensory overload, allowing them to enjoy the connections they do make much more deeply. It's about adapting to our changing bodies and finding ways to still connect without pushing ourselves into uncomfortable or exhausting situations. Let's also talk about a more emotionally nuanced reason: the fear of burdening others and a fierce desire to maintain our independence. As we age, we often become acutely aware of our own needs and potential limitations. We might worry about becoming a burden to our children, our friends, or even our spouses. This fear can manifest in subtle ways, leading us to decline offers of help, or even to avoid situations where we might need assistance. For example, if you know a friend might offer to drive you somewhere, you might politely decline an invitation, not because you don't want to go, but because you don't want to inconvenience them. Or perhaps you worry that if you share a minor health complaint, it might lead to unsolicited advice or a sense of worry from others, which you might prefer to avoid. Parallel to this is a powerful and very human desire for autonomy and independence. We've spent a lifetime making our own decisions, managing our own lives, and being self-sufficient. As we age, there can be a heightened sense of wanting to protect that independence. Social interactions, particularly those that involve relying on others or feeling beholden to social norms, can sometimes feel like a threat to that autonomy. We might prefer to structure our days exactly as we wish, without feeling obligated to conform to someone else's schedule or expectations. This isn't about being stubborn. It's about valuing our freedom and agency in a stage of life where it can sometimes feel like control is slipping away. So, withdrawing slightly can be a way of firmly asserting our independence and ensuring we live life on our own terms, without feeling like we are imposing on anyone or losing control of our own routines and choices. It's a quiet declaration of self-reliance. Finally, a very relatable reason for our changing social preferences is simply a lower tolerance for superficiality and drama. Think back to your younger days. Perhaps you spent time in social circles where gossip was common, or where people spent a lot of energy on appearances or trying to impress one another. While that might have been part of the social landscape then, as we age, our priorities fundamentally shift after decades of life experience, navigating triumphs and setbacks. We develop a keen sense of what truly matters: the superficial chatter, the petty arguments, the need for constant validation. These things lose their appeal entirely. Life simply feels too short to waste on anything less than genuine, authentic connection. We've seen it all. Haven't we? The ups and downs, the real struggles, the profound joys. This accumulated wisdom often leads to a desire for deeper conversations, for connections built on mutual respect, understanding, and shared values. We become less interested in maintaining a large network for the sake of it, and more interested in the quality of the interactions we do have. We might find ourselves politely excusing ourselves from conversations that feel empty, or avoiding people who consistently bring negativity or drama into our lives. It's not rudeness. It's a wise, self-protective choice. We cherish our peace of mind and our emotional well-being above all else. This means we're more likely to seek out companions who uplift us, challenge us gently, and truly listen, rather than those who simply fill a social slot. It's about curating our social environment to reflect the wisdom and peace we've cultivated over a lifetime, choosing to invest our time only where there's true resonance and mutual respect. So, we've walked through these 6 fascinating psychological reasons together, haven't we? We've explored how our perception of time shifts, leading us to prioritize deeper, more meaningful connections over a wide network, a concept known as socio-emotional selectivity. We've acknowledged the very real changes in our social energy, and how a growing appreciation for solitude isn't a sign of withdrawal, but often a wise choice for self-care and inner peace. We've also gently touched upon the impact of natural shifts in our social circles, as loved ones move or pass on, changing the very landscape of our daily interactions. We considered the practical realities of sensory changes and physical limitations, understanding that these aren't just minor inconveniences, but real barriers that can make social engagements less appealing and more taxing. We then delved into the powerful, yet often unspoken. Desire to maintain our independence and avoid the fear of burdening others. A deeply human instinct that can lead us to be more selective about our interactions. And finally, we embraced the wisdom that comes with age, a lower tolerance for superficiality and drama, and a profound yearning for genuine, authentic connections that truly nourish our souls. It's important to remember that these aren't failings or shortcomings. They are natural, often subconscious, adaptations to a lifetime of experience and the beautiful, evolving process of aging. This shift in social preference isn't about being antisocial or becoming a recluse. Far from it. It's often a sign of immense personal growth, a deeper understanding of ourselves, and a wise allocation of our most precious resources, our time, our energy, and our emotional reserves. It's about making conscious choices that align with our evolving needs and values. You are not alone in feeling this way. Millions of people your age are experiencing similar shifts, often finding a quiet joy and contentment in a more curated, intentional social life. The key is not to fight these natural inclinations, but to understand and embrace them. It's about giving yourself permission to honor your changing needs, to say no gracefully to what doesn't serve you, and to actively cultivate the kinds of connections that truly bring you joy and peace. This might mean nurturing a few deeply meaningful friendships, spending quality time with family, or engaging in quiet, reflective activities that recharge your spirit. It might mean finding new ways to connect that suit your energy levels, like smaller gatherings, virtual chats, or shared hobbies that naturally bring you together with like-minded individuals. Remember, small shifts in perspective and small changes in how you approach your social life can make a monumental difference to your overall happiness and well-being. This stage of life offers a unique opportunity to design a social life that is truly authentic to you, one that feels nourishing, not draining. We all have unique experiences and perspectives on this journey. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you noticed these shifts in your own social life? Which of these psychological reasons resonated most with you? Please share your stories and insights in the comments below. Your experiences can truly help others who might be feeling the same way. If you found this video helpful, if it brought you a sense of understanding or peace, please do me a favor and give it a thumbs up. Liking the video helps more people like you discover this content. And if you want to continue exploring topics that help you live your best life at every age, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. We're here to provide helpful insights and support as you navigate this wonderful stage. Life is beautiful. Thank you for spending this time with me. Remember, your path is unique and beautiful. Embrace the wisdom of your years, honor your needs, and live your best life at every age. You truly deserve it.